Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charanarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki Jai.
Jai.
Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai.
Jai.
से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। भूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। गंगा माई की जय। यमुना माई की जय। तुलसी महारानी की जय। देवी की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। नाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय। सामवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All glories to assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Glories to devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 17, Punishment and Reward of Kali. Text 2. Vrisham Rinala Dhavalam Mehantam Iva Bibhyatam Vepamanam Padaikena Sidantam Shudrataditam. Vrisham Rinala Dhavalam Mehantam Iva Bibhyatam Vepamanam Padaikena Sidantam Shudrataditam. Vrisham Rinala Dhavalam Mehantam Iva Bibhyatam Vepamanam Padaikena Sidantam Shudrataditam. Please chant.
Hare Krishna. Vrasham Ranal Dhavalam Mehantam Iva Vibhyatam Vepamanam Padekena Sidantam Shudrataditam.
Vrisham Runala Dhavalam Mehantam Iva Bhibhyatam Vidamanam Padaikena Sidantam Sudrataditam.
Vrishamrnala Dhavalam Mehantam Iva Bhibhyatam Vepamanam Padaikena Sidantam Sudrataditam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Vrisham Milana Dhavalam Mehantam Iva Bibhyatam Vepantanam Padaikena Shidantam Shudrataritam.
Vrisham Renala Dhavalam Mehantam Iva Bhibhyatam Vepamanam Padekena Sidantam Shudrataditam.
Word to word translation. Thank you. Vrisham, the bull. Mrinala dhavalam, as white as a white lotus. Mehantam, urinating. Iva, as if. Bibhyatam, being too afraid. Vepamanam, trembling. Pada ekena, standing on only one leg. Sidantam, terrified. Shudratarditam, beaten by a Shudra. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. The bull was as white as a white lotus flower. He was terrified of the Shudra who was beating him, and he was so afraid that he was standing on one leg, trembling and urinating. I'll read the translation one more time. The bull was as white as a white lotus flower. He was terrified of the Shudra who was beating him, and he was so afraid that he was standing on one leg, trembling and urinating. Purport. The next symptom of the age of Kali is that principles of religion, which are all spotlessly white, like the white lotus flower, will be attacked by the uncultured Shudra population of the age. They may be descendants of Brahmana or Kshatriya forefathers, but in the age of Kali, for want of sufficient education and culture of Vedic wisdom, such a Shudra-like population will defy the principles of religion, and persons who are religiously endowed will be terrified by such men. They will declare themselves as adherents of no religious principles, and many isms and cults will spring up in Kali Yuga only to kill the spotless bull of religion. The state will be declared to be secular or without any particular principle of religion, and as a result, there will be total indifference to the principles of religion. The citizens will be free to act as they like without respect for sadhu, shastra, and guru. The bull standing on one leg indicates that the principles of religion are gradually diminishing. Even the fragmental existence of religious principles will be embarrassed by so many obstacles, as if in the trembling condition of falling down at any time. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. वृषं मृणालधवलं मेहन्तम् इव बिभ्यतं वेपमानं पदैकेन सीदन्तं शूद्रताडितम्. The bull was as white as a white lotus flower. He was terrified of the Shudra who was beating him, and he was so afraid that he was standing on one leg, trembling and urinating. First of all, I'm very happy to be back in the association of all of you Vaishnavas. And thank you for your association. So, the sages at Naimisharanya had asked Shaunak Rishi why Parikshit Maharaj simply punished Kali, why he didn't kill Kali. That was the question. And then they said, if this is related to Lord Krishna, then please tell us the reason. So, in answer to that question, we are reading this whole description. So, certainly it is related to Lord Krishna. That's why we are reading it. Because Srimad Bhagavatam, all types of cheating religions are kicked out of Srimad Bhagavatam. If it is given in Srimad Bhagavatam, then this must be related to Krishna and Bhakti. So, the first verse said, so Parikshit Maharaj, when he saw the symptoms of Kali Yuga, as a responsible leader, Kshatriya, who's a Kshatriya? Kshatriya is a representative of the Supreme Lord. He protects the citizens from harm and he guides them in achieving the goal of life, actually. That's the duty of the Kshatriya, to lead them on the right path. So when he saw the symptoms of Kali, he immediately set out to find this person. And he came across this Shudra who was dressed up like a king, who's beating this bull and a cow that was standing there. And the bull was standing just on one leg, and the Shudra is beating the bull. So in text 1 yesterday, we read day before yesterday. After reaching that place, Maharaj Parikshit observed that a low caste Shudra dressed like a king was beating a cow and a bull with a club as if they had no owner. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada explained what is the symptom, what is the principal symptom of Kali Yuga. A Shudra becomes the ruler. A Shudra, a Shudra means one who has no Brahminical culture. He will become the king. And what is the business of such a king? A non-Kshatriya ruler? He will immediately kill innocent animals, especially the cows. And the earth also. The earth is in the form of a cow, isn't it? So he is attacking. So we can take it both literally. Literally, we see how we are in Kali Yuga. We've been seeing the symptoms of Kali Yuga and how it's degrading so rapidly. Even within our lifetime, we are seeing such drastic changes in Kali Yuga. So literally, a slaughter of cows and bulls, we are seeing how it is just expanding. But also, bull is representing dharma, religious principles. And the cow is representing the earth. How the earth is being exploited. drilling the earth for gas, for petroleum, an artificial way of lifestyle. This is the symptom of Kali Yuga. So when the ruler is not a Kshatriya, this is what will happen. The earth and religious principles will be exploited, will be attacked. So coming to today's verse, Srila Prabhupada is saying the next symptom of the age of Kali. The next symptom of the age of Kali is that principles of religion which are all spotlessly white, like the white lotus flower, will be attacked by the uncultured Shudra population of the age. So, not just the king, the ruler, but the people in general, they will all be Shudras. And what will they do? They will attack the religious principles. Here, religious principles, the bull is religious principles, and the bull is compared to a spotless white lotus. So we see the word lotus, or the comparison of lotus is given to that which is very beautiful and very pure, pristine, isn't it? So anything related to Lord Krishna is compared to a lotus. His lotus face, his lotus lips, his lotus feet, lotus hand, lotus navel, right? Lotus face. So when it is compared not just to a lotus but to a white lotus, just to emphasize the purity of dharma. How pure is dharma? Now let's understand what is dharma first, because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. Whenever there is a decline in religious practices, an increase in irreligion, at that time I advent myself. And what do I do when I come? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya. To re-establish the principles of religion, Krishna says, Krishna comes. So dharma is very important. Dharma is that which is guiding the population, the society in the right direction. So it is very important to understand what is dharma and what is adharma. Because a quality of the mode of ignorance is to accept that which is adharma to be dharma and that which is dharma to be adharma. This is the quality of the mode of ignorance. Mode of passion, you don't know what is dharma, what is adharma. You're not sure. That is passion. Ignorance means you take the opposite. You take adharma to be dharma and you think dharma is adharma. This is ignorance. So it's very important to understand what is dharma. Therefore, whenever there is decline in the practice of dharma, principles of dharma, Krishna says, I advent myself to re-establish the principles of dharma. But then, at the end of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam raja. Right? Give up all types of dharma. Just abandon all types of dharma. You simply surrender unto me. So what is the dharma that Krishna is coming to establish? What is the dharma that is being spoken of here? Who is this bull? What dharma are we talking about here? Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir adhokshaje ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. Right? We are talking about dharma means Bhagavad dharma, the innate nature of each and every living entity. Jivera swarupa hoy Krishnera Nityadas. The very constitution of every living entity is to lovingly serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is our dharma. Being a servant of Krishna, that is our dharma. And forgetful of this dharma, now everyone is suffering in the material existence. So from time to time, the Lord comes, He sends His representatives, He gives us scriptures to remind us to once again be situated in our original constitutional position in which we can be most happy. Just like a fish, when it is put back in water, it's in its natural state. So when the living entity is situated as a servant of Krishna, that is his natural condition, that is his happy condition, and that is dharma. And in order to re-establish the principles of this dharma, Krishna is coming, or his incarnations, or his representatives. And all the Shastras are guiding the living entity step by step to come to this conclusion of serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is dharma. So, if this is dharma, there are some supporting legs for dharma. Just like you have a table and it has 4 legs. The table is standing on 4 legs. The legs themselves are not called the table. The purpose of the table is it helps me to write. I can keep my books on the table, right? But the table can function properly when its legs are there in place. The legs are actually supporting the table so that the table can do its function. So the dharma is to render devotional service. What type of devotional service? Anyabhilashita shunyam, jnana karma dhyanavritam, anukulyena krishnanushilanam, bhaktiruttama. This is the highest type of dharma. This is the Bhagavad dharma, right? To render pure, unalloyed devotional service to Krishna, which is unmotivated, uninterrupted. In order to do this, a favorable situation is created. In order to create the congenial atmosphere where this dharma can be executed, we have some principles: austerity, cleanliness, mercy, truthfulness. These are called the legs of dharma. These principles in and themselves are not highest dharma, but because they are assisting in the highest dharma, they are also counted as the principles of dharma. So as time passes from Satya Yuga to Treta Yuga to Dwapar Yuga to Kali Yuga, so at the beginning in Satya Yuga, all 4 legs were in place: austerity, mercy, cleanliness, truthfulness, everything was in place. So it was an ideal situation for a living entity, for a human being to perform dharma, to do his dharma. But with the passage of time, in the next yuga, 1 leg is broken, austerity is removed. And then in the next yuga, when we come to Dwapar Yuga, 2 legs are broken: austerity, mercy. When you come to the next Kali Yuga, 3 legs are broken: austerity, mercy, and cleanliness. They are gone. What is remaining? truthfulness. So you know what is the weight of truthfulness in today's society, in our lives. Even that one leg on which Dharma is standing, that is also trembling. That is also trembling. So Srila Prabhupada says in one purport, let me see if I can quote that. This is in Canto 9, Chapter 10, Text 51, 9, 10, 51. So there in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is saying that among the four yugas, Satya, Treta, Dwapar and Kali, the Kali Yuga is the worst. But if the process of Varnashram Dharma is introduced, even in this age of Kali, the situation of Satya Yuga can be invoked. So now you may question me, what is this Varnashram Dharma? There's a lot of discussion about what is Varnashram Dharma and is it required? Is it practical? Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has, written an article on who is a Brahman and who is a Vaishnava. So if any of you are interested, I can share it with you. And there, we may have a very, a narrow understanding of what is Varnashram Dharma. Varnashram Dharma does not simply mean it's not just the caste system, having Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, right? Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanprastha, Sannyas, and this is Varnashram Dharma. Varnashram Dharma is of three types. There is Karmi Varnashram Dharma, there is Jnani Varnashram Dharma, and there is Daiva Varnashram. Karmi Varnashram means, so from time to time, different leaders, right, proponents of that particular Varnashram, they have come and they have given a definition and also a system to follow that Varnashram Dharma. But their goal is to achieve, for example, if you take Karmi's Varnashram, they will prescribe all types of demigod worship. That is counted as Varnashram. So the goal of that type of Varnashram system is material prosperity. Is that what we are supposed to follow? Is that what is being spoken of here in Srimad Bhagavatam? Then there is Jnani Varnashram Dharma. Jnani Varnashram Dharma means the goal of life is to be liberated. So the society is divided into, there are duties and all that, but the purpose of all this is you have to be liberated in the end. But then there is Daiva Varnashram. Daiva Varnashram means the whole society should be controlled and guided by the principles of pure devotional service. The whole society, and this society is not limited to ISKCON or India or Hindu community. This is the entire society, entire human society. It should be guided by the principles of pure devotional service. It should be controlled by the principles of pure devotional service. Only then such a society has a value in facilitating the progress of the living entities in the right direction. So, when we talk about these legs of dharma being broken, Srila Prabhupada gives this example of, actually in that context, 9, 10, 51. In Treta Yuga, Lord Ramchandra had Ramaraja. This is Treta Yuga. But within Treta Yuga, there was Satya Yuga during the rule of Lord Ramchandra. Why? Because the center was pure devotional service. So when we talk of Varnashram Dharma today, those principles of Varnashram Dharma are accepted, which are favorable to pure devotional service, which actually foster pure devotional service. And what is this pure devotional service? This is the very nature of every living entity. This is the natural condition of the living entity. Dharma is not sectarian. Dharma is not about this faith, Hinduism or Christianity or Judaism. No, that's not dharma. Dharma means being a servant of the Supreme Lord, serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then you cannot say, I love God, but I kill cows and I don't, all the other things I don't accept. It doesn't happen like that. It cannot happen. Brahminical culture and protection of cows is an indicator. These are indicators of a progressive society. And when I talk about progressive society, I'm not talking about material prosperity. A society which is progressive means they are moving in the direction of their actual nature, their true nature, pure unalloyed devotional service. You cannot say that on one hand, we will maintain slaughterhouses and we will drill the earth, and at the same time, we are servants of God, we are lovers of God. No, that is hypocrisy. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a dialogue with Chand Kazi. So Chand Kazi was a magistrate in Navadvip, and he didn't allow the devotees to perform Sankirtan in public. What to speak of public? They were doing Kirtan in their homes in the evening. In Srivas Angan, they were holding Kirtan. He happened to pass by and he went and he broke the mridangas and he threatened them that the next time he saw them doing Kirtan, he would confiscate all their wealth. He would punish them severely, beat them up. So out of fear, devotees were not able to even perform Sankirtan, not able to chant the holy names of the Lord. And this was brought to the notice of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say? You go on with your chanting. I will kill that Kazi. And Mahaprabhu led a procession, civil disobedience movement, Srila Prabhupada calls it, with thousands, if not millions of people, devotees, marching to the house of Chand Kazi, holding torches. Everyone had a torch in their hand. They started in the evening, so they marched and they went. And they were so enthusiastic. When they reached Chand Kazi's house, they started destroying his garden, and they were even screaming, kill the Kazi, kill the Kazi. The Kazi got so scared that he hid himself in the house. He didn't come outside. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat outside the door and sent somebody inside to call the Kazi. The Kazi was trembling and he came outside. And Mahaprabhu said, so first of all, he calmed him down, pacified him. So he said, oh, I came to your house and you're hiding inside? No, actually, when Chand Kazi came, he said that, oh Nimai, in village relationship, you are like my nephew, I'm like your uncle, because they were all attacking him, isn't it? Or at least he thought they would attack him. So he said, you shouldn't do this because, in village relationship, we are related. You are my nephew and I'm your uncle. Oh, that's okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. Then how is it that your nephew has come to your house and you don't even come to greet him? You're hiding inside the house. Oh, you came with all these men, I got scared. It's all right. So after initial talks, right, after pacifying him, now Mahaprabhu challenged him. What kind of religion are you following? The cow gives you milk, so she is your mother. The bull tills the soil and you get grains because of the bull. So the bull is maintaining you, is your father. You're killing your mother and father and eating them. What kind of religion is this that you're following? So Chandkaji said that, look, Nimai, you have your scriptures and we have our scripture. Your scriptures are the Vedas and Puranas, and our scripture is the Quran. So in our scriptures, there are two paths. There is Pravritti Marg and Nivritti Marg. Nivritti Marg means you're not allowed to kill cows, not killing animals at all. But Pravritti Marg actually allows us to do regulated, restricted cow killing. It's allowed. And then immediately he challenged, because he was a scholar, he challenged Nimai and he said, but even in your Vedas and Puranas, there is mention of cow sacrifice. You also do cow sacrifice. Even your scriptures allow this. So Mahaprabhu said, no. No Hindu will kill cows. This is sinful. Cow sacrifice is a different thing. What is cow sacrifice? An old invalid cow is sacrificed by chanting the mantras, and then it is revived back and he gets a new body, a young, fresh new body. This is not called killing. Are you able to revive the lives of the cows, the bodies of the cows that you have killed, slaughtered? If you are not able to bring them back to life, you are responsible for killing them and you are sure to go to hell for this. So in the name of religion, you say you're following religion. In the name of religion, by following your religion, you're actually going to hell. And by the way, even though the Vedas allow cow sacrifice, it's not possible in this time. Cow sacrifice, horse sacrifice, offering of oblations of flesh to the forefathers, taking of sannyas, and producing a child in your brother's wife. These things are forbidden in Kali Yuga. Why? Because people are not so qualified. So this Chandkaji was completely defeated. And also Mahaprabhu said, the principles that are given in your scriptures, they don't understand the essence of knowledge. So therefore they have given orders which are not practical. You see, just like you're saying cow killing is allowed, what is the result of following that dharma? You're actually going to go to hell. So the point that is being made here is that dharma is one. The principles of dharma, it does not matter which faith you follow, you must adhere to the principles. Austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness. And regardless of what you name it, you may call it Islam, you may call it Christianity, you may call it Hinduism, whatever you call it, the qualities have to be there. Once Srila Prabhupada was in Los Angeles, and he would have these meetings with professors, and devotees would also sit. So Srila Prabhupada was saying there was a flower on the tree. This flower is also there in India. There is a different name for this flower in India, and here it is called by a different name. The name may be different, but you have to see if the subject matter is the same. The object that you're talking about, does it have the same qualities? You may call it by a different name. That's all right. But the object should be the same. So dharma Dharma is not about the name, what name you give. Dharma means love of Godhead. And what is that love of Godhead? What are the qualities? What is the standard of love of Godhead? Anyabhilashita shunyam, jnana karmadhyanavritam, anukulyena krishnanushilanam. This is the standard of pure devotional service. And Krishna comes to establish this. And most recently, okay, so the problem here is in Kali Yuga, we have all problems, yes? Prayen alpa ayusha sabhya kalavasti asmin yuge jana manda sumanda matayo manda bhagya hyupadritaha. We have so many faults. But then there is one good quality in Kali Yuga, right? There's no austerity, there is no mercy, there is no. It can be revived if you can work, if you can actually establish Varnashram Dharma. That is there. And what is the purpose of that Varnashram Dharma? To render pure devotional service. And what is the best way to perform pure devotional service in Kali Yuga? Kirtanadeva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Paramrajit. Simply performing Sankirtan. This is the Yuga Dharma. And in order to preach this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself has appeared over 500 years ago, and whose appearance day we are going to celebrate on Monday, Sri Gaur Purnima. So I will stop there, and I will see if there's any discussions, questions, or comments.
Hare Krishna. If anybody has any questions, realizations, comments, please just go ahead. Yes, Mother Shama Gauri.
Hare Krishna, Mother Arcanabhakti.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
This is one question, not question, but did you mention a reference for that 3 kinds of varnashram?
Reference, yes.
Yeah.
I'll forward that. It is the article on Brahmana and Vaishnava by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. It was a very wonderful class. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. I can actually share one more thing. This is from the Gaudiya. Gaudiya is the magazine that was released, written by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So from Gaudiya, volume 5, number 2 and 3, this one, what I'm going to read. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directs us to practice devotion to Hari as part of a system of Daiva Varnashram, divine social order, that is based on devotion. In the present age, the practice of religion has come under the sway of the vitiated society. Sri Chaitanya Dev has commanded that society should ever remain under the control of the religion of pure devotion. This is exactly what we see. Yudhishthir Maharaj, a pure devotee, and he is the emperor of the earth. Parikshit Maharaj, he is a pure devotee, and he is the emperor of the earth. As long as there is a leader like that for the whole world, for the society, then everyone will be guided.
Yes.
And that is the right situation for progressing in Krishna consciousness. And what happens if that is not there? Right? So it is then that the society will have its true value as being favorable to the practice of serving God. Otherwise, it will be the contra-divine society, worthy of asuras or people with demonic characteristics.
Wonderful class, Mataji. For a long time. Welcome. And then it was nice, a lot of topics, they're very good today about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and how he did with Chankazi.
Yes.
It's a nice one to hear that. So that's how we have to, I don't know how to express, but if a if a person is like that, like Shankasi, how they would converted him.
Exactly. Actually,
was-
Chandkazi was converted. Converted means
And he was
he was
following.
transformed. Yes,
Yeah.
he was transformed. And not only did he become a devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and it does not mean he actually converted externally, that now he took to Hinduism. It's not like that. He still continued as a leader of his society, but he practiced pure devotional service, and this is what is wanted. The hearts have to be transformed. Externally, you may or may not change your faith and all. That's not important, right? We have to understand what is the nature of dharma, and he did that. And also he said, he promised that all my descendants that will come, as many descendants as they are, no one will ever stop or interfere with the Sankirtan movement. Anyone who does that, I disown them from my dynasty. To this day, there are followers of Chandkazi living in the area near Mayapur, and they are vegetarian. They don't eat meat.
That's wonderful. That if at least one person, 1 in 100, can do that,
Yeah,
this world would have been different now.
that is the mode of Srila Prabhupada. That is why he was able to, attract people from all over the world, because he gave us the principle. He was not coming from the standpoint of a Hindu or an Indian or this or that. He was giving us the dharma for the spirit soul. Even one disciple once said, Prabhupada, how would we, how should we preach to the Christians? Prabhupada said, we don't preach to the Christians. We preach to the living entities, the spirit souls. So when we have that clear in our consciousness, who we are approaching, then it will come out that way, right? Like that. So.
Nice class. Thank you very much, Mata.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Any other comments, questions, please? Realizations.
A lot of realizations we have today. Really good.
One of the things I think is to even clear out all the misunderstanding. When sometimes I listen to these classes, I realize how far out we have been, away from the right path, misled. I think just even coming back, getting back on track is sometimes just amazing. Like you were saying, Prabhupada, you just appreciate the magnitude of what he has done. Coming to the West and all of that is one thing. Just even people like me who have been so off track, not even knowing what dharma means, always thinking dharma means as a mother I should do this, as a daughter I should do this, as a teacher I should do this, but dharma is Krishnera Swarup hoy Nityadas, Krishnera Nityadas.
Jivera Swarup hoy Krishna Nityadas. Yes.
That is dharma. It has been not there on the radar. Just mindlessly, I don't know doing what, but to understand that it has,
And it is something that, it's not that I have heard today and now it is registered, and that's it takes a moment to moment endeavor to bring us back to that platform, right, of performing pure unalloyed devotional service, reminding ourselves he did it and he set an example for us. And now we have that debt. We cannot say it's our choice or somebody's doing and it's great. And no, this is each one of us who have received this mercy. It's our responsibility to practice it ourselves, make an endeavor to practice, and then share it with others, set an example for others. Of course, I don't want to sound very condescending. I'm also on the other side only. I'm also, but this is the solution as I see from the scriptures, and this is what we should all strive for. Then we will actually be doing justice.
It is so ingrained that so unconsciously, even yesterday we were talking, and so unconsciously somebody passed away, so we say, oh, poor thing, they passed away. The way we address it, it has become so ingrained. Sometimes we don't even realize how much
because we are in the material atmosphere, the modes are so powerful. So we need, I was just listening the other day to Srila Prabhupada's lecture. Prabhupada said, can you imagine Lord Brahma?
Yeah.
Lord Brahma had to undergo tapasya in order to overcome the effect of the modes so that, you know, he could receive the message of the Lord. If that is the position of Lord Brahma is the, you know, the person with the highest amount of piety in the material creation. If that is his position, what is our condition? So we must desperately take shelter and of the solution also. One solution is chanting the holy names of the Lord, and the other one is, this comes later on in this chapter in the purport. Srila Prabhupada explains Srimad Bhagavatam. Just regular studying and distribution of Srimad Bhagavatam. Simply by allowing people to hear Srimad Bhagavatam regularly, they will actually, nashta prayeshu abhadreshu, right? Everything inauspicious, they will be able to overcome the modes and they can actually grasp what is the real thing. They means we.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we were born in Kali Yuga, you know. So
Material world, and
material
on top
world
of that,
we were born.
Kali Yuga.
So it's taking some time for us. Well, at least we come to the first ground step. So it will take a long time to go up.
No, we cannot go up. Krishna will lift us up. So Krishna will lift us up when we call out to him. So we must make that a priority to call out to Krishna. Sita Mataji wants to say something.
I just want to say that I personally feel that I'm fortunate that I am born in Kali Yuga because, you know, we get more mercy in Kali Yuga. You have to be really, you know, to be able to get something, to be able to get to Krishna in Satya Yuga was more tough, is my understanding. In Kali Yuga, it's made so easy for us that we can get to Krishna, you know, much easier. So I actually feel that, you know, it's our good fortune and that we're here, and then we should really take advantage of the situation and go back as soon as we can. And I struggle with everything that you all are talking about. I struggle myself, but it's a good struggle because we're trying, you know. So that's the way I see it. Thank you, Mother.
Add one more point in the purport that Srila Prabhupada says, in the age of Kali, for want of sufficient education and culture of Vedic wisdom. For want of sufficient education and culture of Vedic wisdom. So that's what we have to, you know, why is it a struggle? Because there is not enough education. So we should push that, right? Like what we are doing now. There has to be sufficient education and culture of Vedic wisdom. Otherwise, when this is not there, people will remain Shudras. And what will Shudras do? They will defy the principles of religion. They will defy the principles of religion. So education is also important. And yeah, I agree with Sita Mataji, what she said, that we are very fortunate. Just imagine, we got the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and we came so close after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is not less fortune. This is great fortune. We get to participate in the Sankirtan movement. So this is not less fortune. Just we have to do our best. Whatever has been passed is done. But first of all, understand what is pure devotional service and then endeavor for it. Srila Prabhupada gave us the formula. We just have to become serious and not get distracted. I will stop with that note. Thank you all so much for your kind attention. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrind ki jai. Ancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol, Hare
Thank you.
Bol.
Very well.